Hey guys, I'm Tyrone and welcome back to Harrison Family Farm. Hope you guys have been having a great week. I know that I am, and I'm happy today in particular as well, as it is football Sunday and our Chiefs just won uh, against the Florida Jags. So happy about that as well. Hope that doesn't rub anybody the wrong way. But anyway, in today's video, I kind of want to talk to you guys about another portion of fencing. I know in previous videos, I kind of showed you guys the woven wire fence that I've been installing around the property for the perimeter fence. And today I want to share with you guys kind of another or an additional layer that we add to our fencing system here. And many of you guys have heard me speak of it before, and I'm just going to highlight it in this particular video. And what that is just the electrical portion of our fencing system, which adds a shock irritant to the for the animal to kind of deter it or deter them from wanting to press against the fence, try the fence, or whatever the case may be, escape essentially as well too. And I just want to share with you guys kind of what I use as the solution to our farm here, or what I use as a solution for our farm here, and then also how I kind of how I arrived to that solution for us, like what our needs were, and kind of the challenges we were trying to overcome by having an electrical fence. So as I kind of alluded to you guys before, I've had animals previous to this property, and I never had electrical fence. And I will tell you one thing: I did have issues keeping my animals at home. And I won't say just because it was I didn't have electrical fencing, because many people keep several animals without ever using electrical fence. I'm sure of it. It was a combination problem of the installation of the fence that I was using, as I also mentioned to you guys recently, and then also kind of not having that. And so the electrical aspect of our fence has kind of become an additional peace of mind for me anyway, and an additional barrier for the animals as well, because truth be told, they only get shocked like once, and that's usually the first encounter, or maybe here and again, here and there, but it's not like an ongoing thing. There's not like some situation where they go up to it and just get buzzed and buzzed and buzzed, or anything like that. It usually is a initial encounter, and then it becomes more of a psychological barrier for them, and so they don't even bother the fence that is beyond the electrical wire, or even bother electrical wire anymore, usually after that initial shocking, or maybe a few shockings. But then they just like anybody else, they learn, or anything else, they learn that, oh, that is an irritant, I don't like it, and I'm going to steer clear of it. And so it tends to work really well. But anyway, what I want to talk to you guys about is how I landed on the charger that we have been using for the 3 years that I've had animals on this particular property. And one of the big things is, if you guys remember, or you guys have been following the channel for a while, know that long before there was ever a house here, there was animals here. And so with that means there was no power here. So one of the big things that we wanted, or I needed fence charger to do, is to be solar powered. And so I'll turn you around. So our first Energizer, which is this one here, is clearly solar power. You see it has a solar panel here to absorb energy, absorb sunlight, so that it can then convert it to energy, and then power our fence. And this has really worked out really well for us. As you can see here, it is rated to power up to 10 miles of fence. And to keep that in mind, that is linear distance. So if you have multiple lines going along a single run, each one of those lines count towards that. So just something to be mindful of. And then you can also see the output here is 0.15 joules. Is that focus right there? And like I said, this has worked out really well. One thing that I had to be mindful of when buying it is that it wasn't going to be plug and play. Once you get this particular charger out the wrapper, you're going to have to let it sit in the direct sunlight for at least like 2 to 3 days, so that it can build up the battery and things like that. But one thing that's also cool about it is that once it is charged, I want to say that it can go up to 2 weeks without sunlight being present, and continue to power your fence. Now, I don't know how strong it's going to be over that period of time. I've been fortunate where I've never been in that kind of situation. But it's just good to know. At least they advertise it that way anyway, right? And so yeah, it being solar power was a super important selling benefit to us, uh, and made it very easy for installation. That meant that I didn't have to worry about running any kind of power wire out to this point. It means that I could just set up right here, install my ground rods, and essentially just it's ready to go. But yeah, so that was really cool, really helpful, and really I want to say user friendly. Like I said, that was the first time I had ever used any kind of fence charger. So to just put it outside for a few days and then come back, plug it into my positive lead, which is going to my fence, and then my negative lead, which is going to my ground rods. That was pretty simple and pretty easy, and made it really approachable. I'll put it like that. As far as doing it, wasn't intimidating at all, and it was pretty cool. And I don't know if you guys caught the brand that I use is Zariba. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That I've never heard it said before. That's just what my reading skills have come up with. So yeah, if it's pronounced differently, let me know. But yeah, let me see. All right, guys. So without further ado, I do want to show you guys the new Energizer that I've got. And so you see this extension cord here. It's actually in this bucket. As you can imagine with AC, it is delicate when it comes to water. And so, and then you can see there's water on this bucket that comes through on camera because it rained here the other day. But anyway, so I got it in this bucket to keep it from getting wet or exposed to the elements. But I do want to get it open. I'll show you guys. I wanted to be able to show you guys the bucket first, just to show you that it has its vulnerabilities. Whereas with this one, I just leave it out like that. It's made to be in the weather, and no issues, no problems. But I'm gonna get this lid popped off of this bucket, and then I'll show you guys a little bit more. And just so you guys can understand what you're looking at, this is the bare wire is the one going to the fences, energizing everything. This is my ground lead, and then this is coming from my power source going to the Energizer, just so you guys understand. And then my ground lead is going right here. This is one of my ground posts. I have a total of 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, pretty sure I got 3. So this is one, and there's some more. You probably can't see them, but there's one right there. You can probably see it. There's another one there, and the other one I think is covered down there somewhere. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna pop this open and I'll show you the new one. So yeah, guys, like I was saying, that solar fence energizer has really worked out well for us. It's only been here recently. Ooh, sorry, that's sun. Sorry, guys. It's only been here recently that I had even considered I don't even want to say replacing it, but I do want to say adding an additional charger, and that is something that I have done. I'm going to show it to you guys here in a bit, but I want to kind of share with you guys why first. And it wasn't because that one was really doing me anything wrong. No animals were getting out or anything like that. But as you guys know, we do have a lot of vegetation, and so a lot of times I get a lot of grounding through the vegetation, which brings down the power or the voltage from the fence, and so that becomes a situation where the animals could, where the fence might not be producing enough output to deter the animals from getting out, which is problematic. And then also there was the situation that I wanted. I mean, there was also the thing that I wanted more than one charger, because I wanted to be able to have a separate charger and a dedicated charger for the cows. And then I also wanted a charger that I could be able to move around the property for like that, the mesh fence that I use for like the dogs, and then also for the goats as well. That way I would be able to move them and not be dependent upon keeping them close to where I'm able to latch on to the main fence. Like if you guys recall, when I move the goats around the cow pen now, I'm moving them particularly around the cow pen in that mesh fence, so that I'm able to latch on and get access to the energy from the electrifier, or from the Energizer, excuse me. so that I'm able to connect the mesh fence to the primary fence that is energized. That's what I'm trying to get out. But yeah, so I wanted to be able to move that mesh fence with whether it would be the cow, whether it be the goats or any other animal that we have in the future that we want to kind of move around. I wanted to be able to do that independently. And so what my thought was is that I would get a AC, which is alternating current, which is going to be your traditional plug-in fence charger, and let it be the main fence charger or dedicated one that is going to be used for the cows and also probably the perimeter fence as well. And then use that existing one that we have and that I've been talking about in this video to kind of move around, be it with the goats, with the dogs, or any other animals that we're moving separately besides the cows. And I think that was going to be beneficial twofold for me, in the sense that, if you're going to have an AC one that needs to be plugged in and dedicated power, you want it somewhere stationary. And then also with it was going to allow that, for instance, if there was ever an issue with the smaller mesh fence, it wouldn't bother the cow pen and vice versa. They would work independently of each other. And so that was going to be cool too. But yeah. All right, guys, so I got it open. So same name brand here. A few things you're going to notice right off the bat is one, that mileage. And so this one's rated for up to 50 miles. And then also the output right here by my left thumb, you see the output is 2 joules versus that one up top is 0.15 joules. So the output is a lot higher with this, and that's again why I say, guys, I want to use this one as the main one and for the perimeter fence and with the cows in particular in mind. As you guys know, our cows are pretty good. We don't really have much issues out of them, and even more so, even our bull. We really don't have many issues out of him, and grateful for that. But at the end of the day, I would like if there was going to be, a bigger charger, I wanted on the ones that's got the bigger animals, just to be honest and straightforward. Sorry, I wanted to fix that. And so that was another reason to do it. Another reason I'm going to use this particular charger for the fence or the area that the cows in particular will be in. But yeah, I haven't gotten shocked by this yet. I know it's inevitable. My day is coming. But just hearing it, it sounds a little bit different. Like, for instance, even pulling this I'll turn you around. Even pulling this lid off, like, there's no way for me to shut it off prior to turning the lid off. The only way to shut it off is to disconnect it, as you see I've done. This one here, another difference is this one has an on and off switch right below. I don't know if it's in the focus, but yeah, there's an on and off switch right here. And so, and when I was turning it off, I got all 3 of those wires coming through this hole so that the hot lead touched the ground, and so it started to spark. And you can just tell that spark is a little bit different from the one that comes from that solar powered one. But again, I never had issues with the solar power one not being enough. But I am letting you know that there is a difference. And so I am happy to see that. I figured there would be, having dedicated 120 volts or whatever versus solar power. I expected there to be a difference. So no huge surprise there. And again, like I said, if you guys are in a situation where all you're going to be able to use is solar, I'm being serious. Like, the solar one was ample for me. We was fortunate enough not to have any issues. Even day one, that solar one, I can remember bringing Jay and Beyonce here the first day, and they were messing with the wood fence here that I put together. They were messing with it, or thinking about messing with it, because I didn't turn the hot fence on at first, and like, they were giving it too much. They wanted to get out of it more or less, and so I turned that fence on, and one of them got shocked, and I think they both ran back into the trailer. Like, I still had the trailer parked. I had the trailer parked right there back then, so they could unload or whatever. And one of them got hit by it, and yeah, they both ran back onto the trailer. It was the funniest thing. I say that not because them getting hurt was funny, but just the fact that it was enough of a nuisance, enough of a nuisance to make them want to get back on that trailer. So solar's enough. Just wanted to reiterate that in case that's all someone has that. Yeah, but I'm going to try to put this lid back on, guys. And maybe I'll record me putting it back on just in case it arcs, and then you guys can kind of get an idea of what I mean. Sorry about that. I just want to cover that hole. So yeah, I guess I was careful enough not to do it this time. But it be popping pretty loud. These cows are here with me. So yeah, guys, kind of like I mentioned it before, when I was kind of saying one of the reasons that I enjoyed having that solar fence so much, I mean not solar fence, but solar energizer so much, was that I did not have to worry about running power to it. So as you see now, I do now have this long extension cord that I have to run from the house out here, which is not great, you know. So I still got to work that out, figure out what I want to do with it, whether I'm going to bury it or whether I'm going to go in the air with it or do something. But naturally, it's a trip hazard. Also, I don't want to fear cutting it with the lawnmower. I don't, you know, excuse me, animals, whether it be the dogs, I don't want them bothering it either. So I do need to figure out a solution to that. Or it could be that I move the entire setup closer to the house, and then put me some ground rods maybe over here, or I don't know yet. But yeah, I got to figure out something. Because the way I got it set up now with the new Energizer is a little bit less than what I think is ideal. But oops. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to kind of share with you guys, one, that there are two different types of Energizers, powered two different ways, and they can serve, you know, a variety of purposes and a variety of needs, just depending upon, you know, what your needs are. Like I said early on, us having this property but not having power on the property, or not even having a home on the property, that solar Energizer allowed us the opportunity to, or allotted us the ability to be able to keep our animals with peace of mind, although not having power. But the flip side of that is the one that is AC powered or powered by traditional home power. It's going to give a lot more output. It's going to be able to also cover a lot more ground as far as mileage or linear feet or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's just a matter of what your needs are and the problem that you're trying to solve, you know, at your place, whatever the case may be. But yeah, guys, I thank you for tuning in with me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and continue with us on our journey to 1,000. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a great week. Peace.